Hey everyone, thank you for joining me this week on Mexit Can, where we talk all things about what our experience has been like moving here to beautiful Mexico City. So this week I'm going to make two videos all about healthcare. It's one of the biggest questions that I get asked time and time again is just like, what's the quality of healthcare like? Public, private, like what's your take on that? So I'm just going to give my kind of like personal opinion on what our experience has been like with healthcare since coming here to Mexico. The first video, so what I'm going to talk about today is more like the logistical pieces around the public-private system, some details on that. I'm going to share a really good link in the comments that does a really deep dive in if you are a temporary or permanent resident in Mexico, what do you get by way of public health care? And then later this week, I'm going to do a video more about our personal experience here. Jim's folks moved down here to Mexico City as well. They actually live right upstairs from us. They're, of course, in their mid 80s, and they've actually used the healthcare system here quite a bit, as has my mom. She winters down here. So she's had some really great experiences with the hospital and healthcare system here. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about just our personal experience and what it's been like. So a couple of things to cover today. The first thing is that when you do get your temporary residency, so if you watched my last video last week, you kind of learned the ins and outs of temporary residency here in Mexico, you do qualify for using the public health care system. So, I mean, you have to do a few things. It's not just you get your residency and away you go. You have to first enroll in the program. And this link I'm going to share kind of walks you through step by step how to do that. And you have to pay an annual premium if you are a temporary resident looking to use the healthcare, which makes a ton of sense because I'm not from here. I haven't paid taxes here. I haven't paid into that system. And then there's a scale for how much you would have to pay based on your age. So for me, it would be about 13,000 pesos, so just about $1,000 for the year. And that gives you access to the public healthcare system. They assign you a GP, a family doctor in your area. They assign you a clinic in your area, and off you go. With a few caveats. There's some pre-existing conditions that aren't covered fully. You would have to do a copay, and those existing conditions or pre-existing conditions, they are referenced in detail in this document or this website I'm going to share in the comments. So that's just kind of how you get set up in the public healthcare system. To be fair, the public healthcare system here is plagued with a lot of the same issues facing Canada right now. So longer wait times in some of the hospitals. There'll be a little bit of a shortage of nurses. The average wait time is 12 to 15 weeks for an elective surgery, but things like orthopedic surgeon to get that type of surgery can be up to 2 years, but it depends where you live. So here in Mexico City, because there is just an abundance of hospitals and clinics and doctors and specialists, the wait times are significantly less, but in some of the smaller parts of the country, you could wait up to 2 years for that type of surgery. But I think about, my time in Canada, I had a bunch of shoulder issues that was deemed to be kind of an elective shoulder surgery, even though, my gosh, like I would sit up in bed at night and my shoulder would like fall out of the socket. Didn't feel very elective, but we won't get into that can of worms today. And I did wait a long time for an MRI to see the specialist. It actually took a really significant injury in Alberta to my shoulder that actually got me to get the surgery done much faster. But anyway, similar problems here in Mexico with just longer wait times. So that's a little bit of my take on the public healthcare system. I'll share a lot of the specific details about that in the comments below, but we opted for private insurance. We opted to use the private healthcare system as a bit of our just in case. To be fair, the first year we were here, we didn't have any insurance because we're relatively healthy and young and it just wasn't a priority at the time, but now we do. We have a policy through New York Life Cost is about $150 a month each. So that's for me, and then the same for Jim. But that includes access to like really great hospitals, all the doctors and specialists, medications, kind of everything from a healthcare perspective that you could want, with literally like 0 wait times. So we haven't used any of that, touch wood, but we do have that should we need it. It also includes dental coverage. So anything we need dental related, that also falls under this $150 a month. And it also includes travel insurance, which for us was really a really good selling feature because we do a ton of traveling into South America. I'm going to do another separate video series on just what the traveling experience is like out of Mexico. So we did opt for private insurance. Like I said, we haven't used it yet, thankfully, but we do have it just in case. I haven't made any claims through dental or anything either because it's just so affordable to go see really great dentists here. I'll do another spiel on my love of the Mexico dentist scene, but we did opt for the private insurance. The other thing that I think is really interesting and different here in Mexico is how the pharmacy system operates. So all of the pharmacies in Mexico actually have a GP attached to them. And it's amazing because they're free or by donation, sometimes up to like 50 pesos, but a lot of times it's just by donation. And I have experience using those doctors once. When my mom was down here, she just had a bit of this nagging throat infection. It didn't clear up. So we went down to our local pharmacy, saw the GP there, no wait time, walked right in, did the usual kind of GP visit. Looked over her, kind of throat, did all of those types of things. And she needed some antibiotics. She wrote all the prescriptions. We went next door to get those filled. So I think that's really smart. It's great for like if you need stitches or if you need, blood pressure tests, or if you need, you've got lagging, cold and flu, things like that. Really, really smart. I think it diverts a ton of people away from urgent care facilities, and obviously at low to no cost for everybody. I think that's really smart. I have a lot of love for that part of the system here. And then of course, from a pharmaceutical perspective, the cost for pharmaceutical drugs here is just so significantly lower than in Canada and the US and other parts of the world. It really was a bit mind-blowing at first. I use two prescriptions to treat my asthma, and both of those inhalers were literally like a third of the cost of what they would be in Canada. So really, really significant savings. If you do have to take a lot of medication, the price is significantly lower. And you don't need a prescription for a lot of things. Like here, I can just go to the pharmacy and get the inhalers whenever I need them. I don't need to go to the doctor and have a prescription written, which of course was mind-blowing to me when we got here, but I'm somewhat used to that now. So yeah, I think that's where I'll cut it today. Just a little bit of information about public healthcare, private healthcare. If anybody wants kind of insurance details of our plan, deductibles, things like that, just shoot me a message. I'm happy to share all of those details. And then tune in later this week where I'll start to share a little bit about our personal experience with our folks, because they've seen a ton of specialists. There's been a major surgery that's happened here. So we have some really great insight into like the inner workings of the private healthcare that I'm super happy to share. So have a great day, everybody, and I will see you all very soon. Take care.